Hello everyone and welcome to the last episode of Stanley Parable. This time we have a bunch of stuff that I compiled that we didn't try yet. One of them is going on the back of the 434 desk and getting ourselves to goddamn it, because we can't jump, you know. By the way, if you press like 20 or 40 times, there we go, see? We are on the top of the desk and now we want to go to the goddamn window. And ta-da! I guess
At
that's it.
first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Not really.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
I wonder if what does it do? What happens if we wait here? Just wait, or can we press again? No. Well, I think nothing happens. Maybe if I wait long enough, but not yet. Let's try the other option though. And if it's the same, then I'm going to skip it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
It's
Stanley
cheats.
decided to go to the meeting room.
Cheats.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked,
Was it
he
here?
couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ah, there we go. And here we go. Here. There we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
There we go.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old, and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable, and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
Beautiful. Let's not stay here for too long. The next thing we are going to do is to open the console, and on the launch options of the game you can do that by writing /console and then it's SV sheets 1. And let's see what happens.
Stanley, this is me being serious. In fact, this is my serious room. It's where I come to be serious. That table is the most serious table I could find. I looked at many, many tables, hundreds of tables. It's possible I looked at over 1,000 tables. I honestly don't know. The specific number isn't as important as the understanding that of all tables I looked at, this one is the most serious. I relate this story to impress upon you the extent to which this is the most serious room I have, which is why I brought you here. You just tried to activate server cheats, which of course runs the risk of breaking the entire game. You've got no respect for the strict order of scripted narrative events, and I just can't have that. It's time to get serious, Stanley. No jokes, no games. Outside of this room, I might be more tolerant of those things, but now we're in the room. Which is why I'm subjecting you to the most serious punishment I can think of. 100 billion trillion years standing here in the serious room. Perhaps after that, we can talk about the severity of your actions and whether you've learned anything. But until then, serious room, go.
So we are just going to stand here forever, apparently, or according to the narrator? Narrator? I forgot how to say it. Well, it happens. Yeah, I'm assuming it doesn't say anything else, so moving on to the next thing is...
Whoa, did we not have the talk? Are we not in the serious room this very moment? Did I not tell you how many tables I looked through? I'm going to be conservative and say it was somewhere in the tens of thousands of tables. Any reasonable person would say I spent an absurd amount of time doing nothing but looking at tables, and I genuinely considered each one too. I took a hell of a lot of notes. I kept the notes in a different room. That room is less serious than this one. It's more of a notes room. Again, the point of this story is to convey how serious I feel this cheating issue is. And I'm sure you'll agree with me once you've fulfilled your new punishment. Infinity years in the serious room. I generally have trouble reading human emotions, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you're devastated by this crippling new punishment. As well you should be. It's the most serious I could think of. Can you get more serious than that? No, you can't. Don't try.
You can keep writing SV Sheets 1 over and over again. And it will keep scolding you, apparently.
Still no effect. The problem is clearly the serious room. It isn't serious enough. That's on me, Stanley. I apologize. I'm going to the store to look through more tables. Hopefully I find one that conveys how wrong what you're doing is. Now, where did I put those notes?
The last thing I want to try was in the boss's office, which we will fast forward to.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
So
human
let's
life.
try the code that I read somewhere. That should
Unraveled,
work.
Stanley wondered in disbelief who
No.
had orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind
Okay,
the
that's an
boss's
achievement,
desk
by the way.
guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
What we are going to try now is the other thing that I read somewhere that I forgot. And... And it was... Hold on. 1947.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
Jesus.
Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Yeah.
Stanley ventured forth into the newly opened passageway.
If you press 1947, it also opens the door. So we are back to the boss's office, and if you remember the last episode, we tried to go back when the doors were closing, and what that does is... There we go. There we go. You're now able to go into the executive bathroom, which shows random quotes from the boss. Like, I've got this feeling, money is for stealing, but not yours, of course. Hey, that's a lovely purse. But apparently you can also open these ones. Right? Wrong? Okay, that's totally wrong. You cannot open those doors. I was wrong. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, okay. It was this one. The broom closet. And... yeah. You can just stay here forever. And enjoy being in the broom closet. I'm not wrong. That's everything. Or was it the elevator? I'm not sure anymore. Well, anyway, guys. And girls and everyone else. This was more than enough for this Let's Play series. I seriously hope you enjoyed it. And yeah. We will see each other next time.